Morning YouTube, morning Twitch. It's your boy Awkward. How's everyone doing? I'm doing pretty good. Yeah, I'm doing pretty good. Got a few things to talk about today. I'm going to talk about a little social media post that I saw too over the last couple days that I'm going to talk about briefly. It's kind of funny. But yeah, let's get this for shizzle started, my rizzles. Doom. What's up, everybody? So, obligatory breakfast showing. This is really never gonna change, guys. Like, it's just not. This breakfast is just way too good for me to change it up, so. That's good. And as you can see, I didn't forget anything this morning, thankfully, other than my insulin. But yeah. So before we start today, talking about what happened yesterday, what's the agenda for today, I want to show you guys something. So, my wife has been kind of like a Temu fanatic over the last few weeks. We really haven't been able to afford anything, but she does her Diamond Dots art and everything like that. So, but there's a $10 minimum of what you can order. So, she got Diamond Dot stickers and stuff like that, and then I got this. It's a little canvas of Hogwarts, Harry Potter castle, and everything like that. It's decent size. It's like $2.50 or something like that. Her product was $7.50, so we needed to hit that mark. I haven't hung it up yet. I'm not sure if I'm just gonna, adhesive it to the wall or pin it to the wall or do something like that, or if I'm gonna try to get like some type of like wooden frame to adhesive to and then hang it on the wall. I think that's generally what I want to do instead of just putting that on the wall, but those frames can be expensive, or so I've heard. But yeah, I'm pretty proud of that. I like it. It was relatively cheap, thankfully, so I think I'm gonna continue to order stuff like that because we kind of have bare walls in here, and since this is gonna be our like go-to space to hang out and do stuff like that, I want it to be kind of saturated with stuff. Like, I guess technically this wall over there and to the right over here next to the window, kind of my space where I put up all my stuff. I mean, Panda behind me is also mine. So that might get changed to someplace else once my wife starts finishing up her Diamond Dots projects and stuff like that. You can see over there, she has one finished. This one right here, my mom did, and she gave that to me. It's a Panda, obviously. Anything Panda oriented, you can generally know it's mine. Okay, another bite. So yeah. So I'm not sure how we're gonna do this. I think this is how the setup's gonna remain for the most part. So I think what's gonna end up happening, what I'm gonna bring up to my wife, is that the adjacent wall, this opposite wall over here, her stuff's gonna go there, and then my stuff's gonna go against the back wall, because it's obviously my quote-unquote backdrop for my stream. So having, my Harry Potter art, my anime art, Panda stuff, all that kind of stuff on that backdrop or that back wall makes more sense than having it be unseen. There's a lot of stuff to streaming that I still don't understand, making videos that I still don't understand. I'm learning as I go. I think having a consistent stream schedule, or at least consistently streaming every day, is part of what I need to start doing. Um, I've kept my breakfast with awkward videos, streams, and YouTube uploads, consistent every single day. And I think the next step is starting to legitimately stream every single day. And then make clips out of that to upload to YouTube. Just generate more content, stuff like that. Difficult having 2 kids. Difficult with the situation with my mom right now. It's difficult with trying to find work and all that. Like, currently I have all the time in the world to do what I need to do. Especially if I just let my kids run rampant and do what they want to do, which I don't do because I try to teach them, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So, yeah. So let's start with yesterday. What did I say was going to happen yesterday? Yesterday was supposed to be just a generic day. Excusez-moi. Times 2. So it was supposed to be just a generic day, and that's what it ended up being. Hung out with the wife and kids before she went to work. I didn't go anywhere. We really don't have gas. She doesn't get paid until the 11th, so we're kind of limited on everything. Thankfully, we get our food stamps tomorrow, so we've kind of been rolling on crumbs, so to speak. Yeah, it was a generic day. The kids were relatively good, but also relatively bad. They still need to learn to listen. And obviously, kids aren't going to listen every single time. They're kids. I don't expect them to, but the disrespect and the lack of understanding that they've been exhibiting over break, especially the last week, has just been disgusting to me. I understand that they're 5 and 7, and I understand that repetition is a thing that needs to happen with them, right? But it's extreme. The fact that I can tell my daughter she has stomach issues. Her stomach hardened. She gets constipated super easily. We've actually had to take her to the hospital for it. She had to have a tube stuck up her to filter all that out, and it was not a pleasant experience for her. She was very scared. She didn't like it. But she refuses to go number 2. I don't know if it's on purpose. I don't know if it's just from constipation or whatever. Anyway, she has medication that we put into water, dissolve, spin it up, whatever, and we make sure that she has to drink that, and it's basically a laxative. Not a powerful laxative, but enough to where they'll force her to get off her butt and go potty. And she knows that. We have told her that there is medicine in her water that she needs to take, so she doesn't have to go back to the hospital and get a tube stuck up her ass. Last night, when I fed them dinner, I told her, I'm like, hey, you need to drink all of this. There's medicine in it, you know why. I was like, please don't leave the table until it's done. Because after dinner, there's like an hour playtime or an hour chill time, and then they go to bed. Because they started school this morning. Thank God. So they started school this morning. And she never takes care of her cup. She always leaves it on the table. She has never taken care of it. She just leaves it there. Which both of them generally do, because they leave their cups there because they're filled with water or filled with juice or filled with whatever. So when they're playing in their room and they get thirsty, they come out and they get a drink, right? She's also not tall enough to actually rinse her cup out or really dump her cup out. She can kind of just plop it in the sink. So I go out there last night, and her cup is in the sink with liquid still in it. Now, aside from everything, she knows if she doesn't take her medicine, she will have to go back to the hospital and experience tube up her ass and the following superbly uncomfortable situation where it has to get flushed and drained out of her. And it's just not fun for her. She hated it. She said she never wants to do it again. Yet she threw away medicine that we really can't afford to throw away. She definitely got in trouble for that one. That is just blatant disregard and disrespect towards what I told you to do. And this isn't even an unreasonable request. It's medicine, baby girl. You need it. And she decided to just dump it out, or she tried to dump it out, but there is still evidence in there, so that's unfortunate for her. So she got disciplined for that. And, I tell the kids all the time, I'm just like, I don't like punishing you. It makes me feel bad. But if you're going to deserve punishment, you're going to get punished. And it's not like it's punished. It is warning, 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 punishment. I tell them multiple times not to do this, to do that. Basically kind of like a 3-strike rule. Some days they get more than 3, never less than 3, and then they get punished. I don't know what to tell you. I'm giving you multiple warnings. I'm being nice about it. And then they want to get upset with me. They want to whine. They want to cry. I'm just like, I have no sympathy for you. None. You were warned. You were told by not only me, but your mother. Sorry. You get punished, it's your fault. That's a concept that not even adults can understand, unfortunately. But I expect my children to be better than that to a degree. So yeah, hopefully if she keeps dumping out her medicine and not drinking it, she's going to end up back in the hospital. She's going to end up with a tube up her butt, and she's going to end up having to sit on a bidet and then just having it all try to fall out and come out of her. And trust me, it's not a pleasant experience for anyone involved. So hopefully she starts to understand that, because her stomach's going to start hurting again. It's going to start getting hard. She's not going to enjoy it. Unfortunately, we can't make her go to the bathroom. I can make her drink her water, which I'm probably going to have to start doing. I'm going to have to probably just stand there and be like, all right, baby girl, I can't trust you to do it yourself. Drink it all while I'm standing here. Which is unfortunate that you have to do that with your children, but you do what you got to do. So that was the sum of it. And then she also, when I punish them, generally it's just being grounded to their bed in their room. And their room is literally on the opposite side of this wall. And she was getting out of bed, picking up stuff, and throwing it under her brother's bed, which in turn hit this wall. And I go in there and I'm like, what are you doing? And her brother rats her out, obviously. And then she lies to me. I'm just like, I hear you. I hear what you're doing. These walls aren't very thick, girl. Why are you lying to me? Like, lying to me is going to get you punished worse. I don't understand. What I try to instill in them is if they get caught doing something they're not supposed to do, because they will, they're kids. They're going to do stuff they're not supposed to do. I understand that. But if you get caught, don't lie to me. It's going to be worse for you. Tell me the truth, and you have a chance of not getting punished at all, because at least you're being honest. And multiple times they've admitted when they've done something they weren't supposed to do. I'm just like, all right, tell me the truth. You're not going to get in trouble. Please don't do it again. Then they end up doing it again, and then they end up lying about it, and then they end up getting punished. So it's this, adjusting scale. It's sometimes I don't want to ask why they lie. It's just like, oh, I don't want to get in trouble. I don't want to get punished. It's just like, first of all, if you don't want to get in trouble or punished, don't do the dumb shit you're doing in the first place. Second of all, if you tell the truth, you have a chance of not getting punished. But if you fucking lie to me, you're definitely going to get punished. I'm not going to say I'm a human lie detector, but I'm very good at figuring out when people are deceiving me, are uncomfortable with what they're saying, especially with kids. Kids can't hide their emotions at all. Even with my son and him having autism and his emotional pool being very limited, I can tell when he lies to me. Because when I call him out on it, there's micro expressions that it's obvious, right? And they still don't get it. Eventually, I hope they understand that just if you get caught, tell the truth and suffer the consequences, or you might get off. Who knows, right? That's generally what happened yesterday with that. They were generally good, but there was a couple of hiccups. They did go back to school this morning. My wife gets up at 6 a.m. Generally, I would start to get up with her because, I go to bed around, midnight, 1 a.m., get up at 6 a.m. 5 to 6 hours of sleep is generally good enough, but I don't sleep. Since I've been out of the hospital, since I've been adjusting my diet, since I've been doing this, and that, my sleep has been absolutely terrible. On average, I maybe get 2.5 to 3 hours of sleep, and that's not consistent. That's spread out across the entire morning. So I try to sleep until 7, and then I'll get up. I'll do breakfast. My son gets off to school before 7, so I don't see him in the morning, but I obviously see him because I get him off the bus after school, and then for the rest of the day. But my daughter is still not onto the bus when I get up, and my wife, because I used to stay up until 5 or 6 in the morning, like close. I would start to lay down and go to sleep when she would get up, and then I wouldn't wake up until like noon or 1, right? She'd have the whole morning just by herself. She wouldn't have anyone around, etc., etc. Now she's happy that I'm up this early because, she can be around me and I can be around her, and she's not alone. Other than this, 30 to 45 minute period where I do my videos in the morning. So I'm very happy that the kids are back in school. Unfortunately, my son has very bad behavioral issues, sometimes, and the way that the school deals with it is they just send him home, which means they have to call us and we have to go get him. Or they'll just suspend him. They're not very good with handling him, dealing with his aggression, dealing with his tantrums, which he doesn't really have at home because he knows that I don't put up with bullshit like that, and all that shit is fake anyway. Like, he does it for attention, he does it to get his way, and he knows that if he even does that here, he's just gonna get punished. He's not gonna get shit out of me. Like, dude, you wanna throw a tantrum? I know you're faking. You wanna cry because you're getting disciplined? I know you're faking. Your emotional depth is not that deep, dude. You're not gonna cry because you're getting punished. And I point this out, I'm like, where are your tears? And immediately when I point it out, he starts forcing them out. And I'm like, dude, you're not, I have no sympathy for you. You're bullshitting me. Stop it. The school won't call him out on that. The school won't tell him he's faking. The school won't do this. They won't do that. So what do? They just call us to come get him because they have an inability to deal with an autistic child. I'm sorry. If you are a school and you cannot deal with children with special needs, don't be a fucking school. If you don't have the resources to deal with children with special needs, you better make that fucking abundantly clear to every parent that enrolls their child there. Otherwise, you're just assholes. As a parent, it is our responsibility to help our child with special needs cope with those needs, or call them out when they are abusing that diagnosis to try to gain advantage, which is what I'm very good at. I'm very good at helping him cope with that, and I'm also very good at calling him out as bullshit. School refuses to do that. There obviously is a level that they can't go to legally, but they sure as fuck can call him out on his bullshit. Settle him down, send him back to class, let him finish the day out, but they don't. They let him throw his tantrums, they let him do whatever the fuck he wants, they let him throw stuff, they let him hit people, and then they call us, and they're just like, well, he's had an incident, you need to come get him, he's going to be suspended for the rest of the day and tomorrow, blah, blah. Motherfuckers, if you are not equipped to deal with kids with special needs, fuck off. While my child is in your care, that's exactly what that means. He is in your care. You are responsible for his safety, you are responsible for his well-being, and you are responsible for making sure his needs are met. And calling the parents the second he starts acting out is not in your job description, motherfuckers. You are to try to calm him, or anyone. You are to try to work through this process. You're not to fucking call us and be like, come get him. Nah, you're fucking lazy, you're ridiculous, stop doing bullshit like that. It's fucking annoying. And I hate it when schools do that. Oh, well, your child had a cough, please come get them. Fucking seriously? When I was in school, when I was in elementary school, you damn well had to be fucking dying if you wanted your parents to come get you. Now, if you sneeze, you have to come get your kid? Nah, fuck off. Like, real talk, fuck off. And it's the same thing with behavioral issues. Well, your kid got into a pushing match, you're gonna need to come get him. The fuck? I got into flat out fist fights. Fist fights in elementary school really aren't fist fights. You know what happens? The aides would come, rip us apart. We'd go sit down at the principal's office. The principal would talk to us and be like, well, I have informed your parents that you're being assholes, so you're going to have to deal with that when you get home. Go back to class. Does that happen nowadays? Fuck no. You push someone and you get like instantly suspended, and your parents have to come get you automatically. Now I think that's part of the problem with this whole bullying and this whole school violence and all this bullshit. When you get in trouble for any type of physicality, I know there's zero tolerance policy, what the fuck ever. I get it. But now kids are just getting sent home. What is that teaching them? That's not teaching them conflict resolution. That's not teaching them to make peace with the people that are being assholes to them. It's not teaching them to defend themselves. It's not teaching them fucking anything other than mommy and daddy are going to come protect you. Or mommy and daddy are going to come scold you. Stop. You're a fucking school. While they're there, you're responsible for my children. That is the faith that parents put into schools. And that's almost completely gone now. You know, if any kid even remotely touches another kid in any way, shape, or form that can be construed as aggressive, they're sent home. What happened to sitting kids down and telling them to talk it out? What happened to making them understand what they're doing is incorrect? Well, that falls to the parent. No, motherfucker, that doesn't. That falls to you and the parent. Kids cannot have a singular source of discipline or information. That's not how life works. If multiple people are telling a child what they're doing is incorrect, or teaching a child how to resolve conflict, how to move past it, they get it from all angles. It's hard for them to ignore and avoid, and they're understanding that multiple people know this. If it's only their parents telling them this shit, what makes them think that they're going to believe it? Oh, well, my mom and dad said this, and that's it. My mom and dad said this. My principal said this. My guidance counselor said this. All of my teachers have said this. You know, the lunch lady said this. The janitor said this. What happened to multiple adult pieces, sources of information teaching children stuff? It doesn't happen anymore. Now, when a child or anyone is at school, the teachers are in charge of their academic progress, and that seems to be it. When I was in school, the teachers, the staff, they were in charge of not only our academic progress, but our social progress, conflict resolution, learning to be decent human beings. Teachers and staff are pseudo-parents at school, as they fucking should be. If you're to become an educator, it's to not talk at kids. It's to not talk at students. It's to teach them. It's to build them. It's to make them understand how life works, not just academically, but emotionally, interactively with other people. And that's gone now. Why? All these rules and stipulations have suddenly become the norm. Like, before I was even in school, kids would get whooped on with paddles. They would get, manhandled by teachers if they were being aggressive or, stuff like that. Now, you see these videos online of teenagers beating the fuck out of their teachers, swinging on them, being so disrespectful. And you want to know why? Because growing up, these kids were not taught respect for those people. They weren't taught respect for teachers, for staff, for anyone at school. And in turn, the teachers didn't attempt to gain respect either. They talked at them. They taught them their lessons academically, and that's it. You're not going to respect someone who is basically a talking box in front of a fucking classroom. If you're to be an educator, I don't care what grade level it is, if you're to be a teacher, a professor, whatever, the kids in your room, the adults in your room, the teenagers in your room are your pseudo-adoptive children, and you should treat them as such. If they have a problem, talk to them about it. If you think something's off, talk to them about it. If they're having a bad day, talk to them about it. If they're having conflict with another student, talk to them about it. This is just not a guidance counselor thing. I don't even know if fucking guidance counselors exist anymore. Like, your base job as an educator is to educate, right? Is to teach. If you think that only has to do with your field of study, you're a fucking terrible educator, and I will tell you that to your face. You are a shitty teacher, you are a shitty professor, and you don't deserve to be an educator. I don't care if you don't get paid enough. I don't care if you have a bunch of shit on your table with your own children. I don't give a fuck. If you cannot handle the prospect of being a pseudo-parent to children or even adults or teenagers in your classroom, don't become a fucking teacher. Go elsewhere where you don't have to deal with that stuff. The world is getting worse because people are getting worse at interacting with each other, and that is my solemn, absolute opinion. I've talked about this in previous streams, previous episodes. The lack of interaction and conversation between people is causing all of this violence in school. It's causing all of this violence in the world. It's causing this disassociation between people, basically. And you see it constantly. And it's not going to get better until people start interacting. So, off of that tangent of school, the kids are back in school. I'm about to be in the process of taking my son out of his current school and putting him into a sister school. They are less, how do I say this nicely? I'm not gonna put it nicely. They are less of bitches when it comes to handling children. They're more interactive with them. They're probably worse when it comes to being sick and having the kid be taken away from school, which I can get to a degree, which I can understand. You don't want sickness to spread. You don't want it to spread to the teachers, to the staff, to the other students. Then it becomes a fucking pandemic, an epidemic, and it's just bad. I can understand that. But as far as disciplinary actions, they deal with it a lot better at my daughter's school than at my son's school. Because my son's school is full of pussies. Holistic little bitches who think peace and kindness and all of this fucking bullshit is gonna help children. Guess what, motherfuckers? It's not. Before my son got the official diagnosis of autism, his school didn't think there was anything wrong with him. They went through their own process of diagnosing him, which was some bullshit, and nothing came of it. They didn't think there was anything wrong. My son's bio dad didn't think there was anything wrong with him. He's just a kid. He's just acting out, blah, blah, blah. And in turn, my wife, she has learning disability herself, so it's hard for her to put stuff together. It's hard for her to get stuff planned, to get stuff, executed and done and stuff like that. But when I came around, that is the opposite of me. Shit gets done when I'm around. It may not fucking seem like it because I apparently can't find work, which, whatever. That's fucked up. I'm still trying, obviously. But in terms of getting shit done, I am hands-on and face-to-face type of person. We got him in to be officially diagnosed, guess what? He has autism. Not only does he have autism, he's going to start being tested for ADHD, a plethora of other things. Do I think he has more issues? Yes, I do. And diagnosis is the first step into treating it, whether it's through therapy, medication. There are homes which we are not sending him to, like ever. But there are homes where he can go to overnight, kind of get a break from us, and we can get a break from him. Parents, you do need breaks from your children, especially if they are children with special needs. Any parent who says that's wrong, or that's horrible, or they don't need breaks, they're fucking lying. Kids also need breaks from their fucking parents, no matter the age. If you don't realize that, you're a terrible fucking parent. Because you are denying your child that break. You're denying yourself that break, which just stresses you out more, which makes your interactions with your children worse. Learn to admit to yourself that you need a break from your kids. Learn to admit to yourself that your kids need a break from you. Once you do that, life becomes so much fucking easier with your kids, trust me. And if you don't share my opinion, cool. That's the great thing about discourse, right? You don't have to agree with me. I don't have to agree with you. I don't hate you because your opinion's different. If you hate me because my opinion's different, oh, that's on you. I really don't give a fuck. Parents need breaks from their kids. Kids need a break from their parents. Generally, that is school, but it needs to be a non-school break. They need to go someplace, either another family member's house for a day, a night, a couple days, a weekend, whatever. And kids with special needs have resources for these types of homes where they can go stay overnight or they can go stay a weekend so that they can get away from their parents, away from that, routine, which routine is actually good for kids with autism, but it's also bad. Because once a routine is in place, if it's a negative routine, then it's bad. And parents also need breaks from their kids. If you say you don't need a break from your kid, you're lying. Or your kid's perfect, which is impossible. So, if you disagree with me, have fun with that. So we got him diagnosed officially through the DFM. I don't know what the three-letter word is for psychological profiling. I don't know. I have to look it up so I can stop sounding like a moron. And his school was just like, oh, we would have never guessed. No, you literally did guess, and you said there was nothing wrong. So we've just had too many issues with this school for him to stay there. It might cause some issues the first couple of weeks he's transferred, but he needs to leave. Because if he doesn't, and this school continues to fuck with our family, I'm going to start fucking with this school. And they're not going to like it in any way, shape, or form. Yeah. That's pretty much all that happened yesterday. I didn't end up streaming. Like I said, I was going to watch all my tournaments, Pokemon, Lorcana, Halo. I watch Halo tournaments too. I finished up tournaments watching that. Wife came home, we hung out for like an hour, watched a TV series, and then went to bed. Update on my mom. Still kind of the same. I'm going to call them today and ask them if they can, because they don't get a hold of me with any updates, which kind of pisses me off, but I'm going to ask them if they can start getting a hold of me because, hospice nurses in general, they know when it's kind of that time. I would like to be informed of that so I can get there and be with her during that time. Unfortunately, right now, like I said, hospice is on the opposite side of town, and we don't have gas money. My wife works in a different city. Her job is like 20 minutes away, so it's 40 minutes there and back. That's kind of where we have to use our gas because we don't have any money until the 11th, basically. We have, I think, like $8 left to put in our gas tank, which is like at a quarter of a tank right now, and we got to make it last. And it's terrible to me that I can't go be with my mom every day because of that, because of my inability to get a job, whether it's my fault or it's just the economy in our area that's preventing it. I don't fucking know what the issue is, but we just don't have the funds right now to be able to do that. So, makes me feel bad, but at the same time, I can't do anything about it. I don't have people who can give me rides there and back, so this is just the truth of the matter. I can still call, I can still check in, which I do, so that's where I'm at with that right now. I get the kids off the bus today because my wife's going into work, and I have to bundle my, fat butt up because I don't have a winter coat still. I'm probably gonna wear like a sweater and 2 hoodies and 2 pairs of pants because I'm cold all the time. That's pretty much it. The kids going back to school is actually kind of a semi godsend for food because they eat breakfast and lunch at school. So when they get home, I generally give them a snack and then they have dinner. That kind of saves us momentarily, thankfully, from exhausting what food we do have left, which is very minimal. Because I actually don't eat eggs or anything, so thankfully the eggs are what I have for breakfast. They do devour toast, though. I swear to God, we go through 3 or 4 loaves of bread a week because all they want is toast and peanut butter, toast and butter. And over the last couple weeks, it's kind of just been fine because we really haven't had much else. We try to put together stuff when we can, at least one meal a day to where they're eating actual nutritious food. I mean, toast with peanut butter and toasted butter isn't the worst thing in the world, but it's still sketchy. So yeah, that's pretty much it. There's really nothing else that's happening today. Pretty normal day. So the social media thing that I told you I wanted to talk about very briefly, and it's going to be very briefly, because if I don't talk about it briefly, I'm going to go on a very long tangent. And it's if you follow social media at all, like on Twitter specifically, you'll know that Summer Rae, who is an adult film actress, posted that she is going to be celibate until marriage now. And the way she posted it, let me see if I can bring it up. Hold on. This is gonna kind of be fucking hilarious if I do say so myself. Doot, doot. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to find the post. Give me 1 second. I could probably just fucking Google it. There it is. So she posted this on January 5th at 6:56 p.m. Says, I've fallen in love with celibacy, so if you want to date me, we're waiting till marriage. Okay. So I have absolutely no problem with people wanting to be celibate and then wait for marriage. That is your choice, and I support your choice. However, girl, you have been ran through by 90% of the fucking United States at literally the same fucking time. You can't say you've had a change of religious heart because you then posted a picture of your outfit with pierced nipples and see-through. So, you want to be celibate until marriage. You're telling this to the men that are going to want to date you, that you're dressing like you're easy. Now, this is not a man commenting on how a woman dresses makes her slutty or look easy or she deserves to be harassed or whatever like that. No. Queens, dress how you want. Whatever makes you feel confident, whatever makes you feel fucking sexy, you dress like that. I support that. However, you have to understand male mentality, which is fucked up most of the time, and we all know this. If you're going to dress in a see-through outfit with pierced nipples, guys are going to think you're easy. And your history kind of says you're easy. Not just in your industry, but there have been apparently multiple posts over the years on social media where she hooks up with random guys, she does random videos with random guys, she's enjoyed the hookup culture for many years, blah, 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 right? So, actually, you're easy. Now, if you are legitimately falling in love with celibacy and want to wait till marriage, you're kind of fucked, girl. Unless the celibacy you're talking about is more open-minded. For example, if you're dating a guy, you're obviously not going to give him sex. That's what celibacy means, if you didn't know. But if you're okay with the dude fucking other women while he waits for marriage, that'll probably work for you. Have fun with that. Not going to get into that. But if you are legitimately asking a man to wait for marriage while you have literally ran through most of the population, no one's going to fucking date you, girl. No offense. None. No offense. No one's going to want to fucking date you. Because that's the most hypocritical shit that you could possibly fucking do. I have seen people who have had promiscuous pasts and have found God and have then waited till marriage, which I also think is kind of hypocritical, but I also am not a religious individual, so I think that if you're a highly sexual person, and if this post was never made, I would have no problem with her. Do you, girl? If you want to hook up with 3 different guys 7 days a week, sweet. Congrats. That's great. That's fun. I have no judgments for you. It's not a bad thing. Have fun. Explore your sexuality. Enjoy life. But if you're going to go from that type of lifestyle to completely celibate, I support your choice, and that's a great choice. But the issue is like this call out to men. Like, oh, well, men I date are going to have to wait till marriage. Bitch, no one's going to date you. Men are not very intelligent creatures overall, especially emotional-wise. We are very single-minded. We are very visually focused. And what we see is you have hundreds of sexual partners. We're promiscuous constantly, which most men will not judge. At least most men I know won't judge. However, to go from that to now denying your partner any type of sexual intimacy is not realistic to men. It's just not understandable to us. It's basically saying it's nonsensical. It doesn't make sense, right? So good luck getting a guy to stick around. Guys may date you because you're Summer Rae, because you're hot, because you're popular. But if you are hoping to find true love, you're gonna be waiting a while, especially if your celibacy thing is going to stick. Most men are not going to get with a porn star or a retired porn star who now does not want to have sex till marriage. That's just a fucking fact. I don't care who you are. I don't care what your opinion on this view is. That's just a fucking fact. I don't know what to tell you. Could I be wrong? Yeah, I could be wrong. But I think I'm going to be wrong? No. I think one of two things is going to happen. Actually, one of three things. One, this actually works out for her. And she finds true love and she gets married and then she gets railed again. Like, sweet, I'm happy for you. Good job. The second thing is, no one's going to fucking date her. And if they do, they're only doing it to try to get into her pants to prove that her celibacy claim is bullshit. So no one will date her. Or 3, she'll just start going through men like fucking underwear. Different dating guy every day, different blah blah blah, going on hundreds upon hundreds of dates trying to find guys who are going to stick around. It's just a giant waste of time, girl. You're not in love with celibacy, you're in love with the clout chasing bullshit that comes along with making a statement like that. Just give it the fuck up. You enjoy your lifestyle, you know you fucking do. There are multiple other porn actresses that have gone from successful porn careers to being successful families. But they don't say, I'm waiting to marriage, or I didn't enjoy my time in the industry, or I don't enjoy this, or I don't enjoy that. They're truthful about who they are as individuals. You're not being very honest, Summer. You're on some bullshit. Stop it. You have much more likelihood of finding someone to marry and fall in love with being yourself, which I don't know who she is as a person. I really don't. Based off of her past, she is a sexually fluid, sexually expressive individual who is now not doing that. You're denying your true self or your perceived true self because you think it's going to get you a good man in a marriage. It's not how it's going to work. Good men aren't going to be like, oh, this girl got railed by multiple dudes throughout her entire life, but now she's celibate? Man, now I got to get to know her. You know, now I really respect her. Are you fucking serious? Really? Come the fuck on. Let's be realistic here. That's not how that works. Men aren't like that. Maybe gay men. I don't know. But straight men definitely fucking aren't. Any dude is not going to see your past and be like, oh, she's celibate now? Different person. No. That's not a fucking thing. And if you think it's a thing, you're retarded. Here's your sign. I don't have a sign, but I would hold up a sign. I'm gonna make a fucking sign. Just drop the celibacy bullshit. Just drop it. If you're serious about it, why the fuck do you have to tell everybody? Who the fuck cares? All this is doing is getting you attention. And if that's what you want, congratulations, you got attention. But if you're seriously thinking that this is going to help you in your love life, here's your sign. It's just a fucking napkin, but here's your sign. It's idiotic. Stop it. I don't know what else to say. Hopefully it was an April Fool's joke, and she just doesn't know what month it is. Because it's dumb. I mean, let me know what you guys think about the situation. I think it's dumb. Women may have a different view of this, because they have more of an inside view on how women feel, how women think about these situations and stuff like that. But I will tell you, as a straight male, this changes nothing. In fact, it will make men even less prone to try to date her or be with her. Because men can get over the fact that you're a porn star or an ex-porn star. They can get over the fact that you have a sexually promiscuous past. Everyone, has the opportunity to have that past, right? But the fact of the matter is that you have that past and now you suddenly are changing. That's a red flag for us. That means that you're denying urges or you're denying things that you weren't denying your entire life. For what reason? Because she didn't list it as a religious reason. She didn't list it as anything other than I've just fallen in love with celibacy. That's a red flag to men. Your dating pool now just became even more shallow than it already was. Almost a non-existent. So Summer Rae, if you see this, which you probably never will, but if you see this, and you truly want to be celibate now, and you're not denying urges, and you're not denying who you actually are, I support that, and I hope you find someone. Chances are you won't. Not for a while, because like I said, guys are simple creatures. But if you're doing this shit for clout, if you're doing this shit for views, if you're doing this shit because you think saying something like this is going to get you a certain type of man, you are incorrect. Stop it. Go back to exactly how you were before, and you'll be fine. You'll be fine. Guys can get over the fact that you're a porn star. Guys cannot get over the fact that you're a porn star that now doesn't want to have sex. That does not make sense to our minds. It will never make sense to our minds. I'm just letting you know. So, I'm going to call it there. Most likely I'm going to stream later today. I need to start streaming. I might just stream for an hour. I don't know if it's going to be, it'll probably be Halo again. But yeah, so thank you guys for stopping by. Thank you guys for listening to my rants. As always, like and subscribe on YouTube. Follow me on Twitter. I will return the favor, obviously. Like I said, helping out the community, growing the community. It's what everyone should be about in content creation. If you disagree with anything that I've said in any of my videos, if you watch my videos, comment on it. I'll have a conversation with you in the comments section. DM me on Twitter if you don't agree or if you do agree with stuff. I'll have conversations with you. I love having conversations and discourse with people. I love being made to see other people's point of views, especially if they can articulate themselves well. I love being made to be wrong, because if I'm completely wrong about something, I want to know the correct, annotation of that. I want to know the correct process or the correct answer or anything like that, because that's information, and I love information. So if I'm spouting off bullshit, and you guys can prove that I'm spouting off bullshit, please call me out on it. Please call me out on it. I will thank you. I'm not going to get mad at you. I'm going to thank you. And then most likely the following stream, I'm going to admit that I was wrong and tell everybody that I was wrong. I might apologize for it. More than likely I won't apologize for it. You should really never apologize for your opinions or your beliefs. You should only apologize for your opinions or beliefs if you proven wrong, yet you still continue those opinions or beliefs. That makes you an asshole. Anyway. So yeah, I appreciate you guys being here. I love you. I guess I'll see you later today or tomorrow.